Good evening. I'm distressed that I can't be with you tonight. I love being here and speaking to you, partly because I'm a ham, but mostly because I love everyone at Ligaly. So thank you for having me. I would like to discuss gender. Gender is something everyone has, and it resides inside each individual. There are basically two ways we determine a person's gender. One, when we determine someone else's gender, and two, when we determine our own gender. When we determine other people's gender, we use any indicator that we have. A doctor uses the baby's genitals to say whether the baby is a girl or a boy. When the genitals are covered with clothing, we use the clothing itself or some other physical characteristic to indicate a person's gender. We use physical characteristics because we have nothing else to go by. When we determine our own gender, we have a different benchmark. We use what we feel inside. When we were young and first became aware of the difference between boys and girls, we didn't pick a gender. We knew our gender intuitively from deep inside us. It was automatic. My friend, I changed the name for privacy. Alice was labeled a boy at birth. She recalled an incident in kindergarten when the teacher said, the girls line up here and the boys line up over there. Well, Alice lined up here with the girls. The teacher instructed her that she belonged with the boys over there. Alice obeyed the teacher, her authority figure, and went to the boys' side over there. All the children laughed at her. That laughter taught Alice that even though she belonged here with the girls, she'd better keep that a secret and stay with the boys, or the children will laugh at her. A born girl wrote, she recalled when she was very young, looking in the mirror and wondering why none of the other boys had long hair like she had. We don't learn what gender we are. We know our gender from inside us. I often hear transgender friends refer to the woman or the man inside them. This tells us first, physical characteristics are an indication of gender. It's usually correct, but it's an indication and not our gender. People's clothes are not their gender. They are an indication of their gender. The appearance of genitals are not our gender. They are also an indication of our gender. To prove that, roughly 182,000 intersex babies are born each year. Many of them have genitals that look ambiguous, and some even look like the other sex. Many babies, both intersex and transgender, are mislabeled at birth because the indications used were not correct. We use indications of gender because we can't see the gender that resides inside a person. It's like a headache. We can't see a person's headache because it's a feeling inside them. The second thing is gender comes from a deep internal sense of ourselves. No one can stop being a woman or a man because gender is deeply rooted in each of us. When our gender and our indications of our gender disagree, people call us transgender, and society casts shame on us. That forces some transgender people to hide their true gender, but everyone's gender fights to be expressed throughout their lives. It's like an instinct, like salmon fighting against strong currents to reach their spawning place upstream. You know, it's curious that people like different things. I often hear people say, I ate that last night. Tonight I want to eat something different. Or, I already saw that movie. This time, I want to see something different. I even hear we always go there on vacation. This year, let's go somewhere different. People like different things, so I don't know why our difference makes some people uncomfortable and some even hate us. Some people point to the Bible's Deuteronomy 22.5 and say we are an abomination. I suggest we consider Samuel 16:7 and John 7:24, who both say that God judges by what is beneath the surface. Deuteronomy refers solely to outward appearance. We express what we feel inside and use clothing or another symbol to express our gender, our inner feeling, just as Deuteronomy commands. Many of us live in secrecy to shield ourselves from transphobia. Sometimes our secret escapes us. One boy's father caught him with nail polish and threatened if he ever did that again, he'd send him to school dressed as a girl. He wrote, "I was such a stupid kid. My one chance and I blew it." He didn't stop. He couldn't always hide who he is all the time. As a result, he was just more careful. We have nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, researchers found transgender people are more intelligent and creative than ordinary people. Let's all lift the stigma of shame and roll it away with the subsequent guilt others try to cast on us. We're equal to, and in many ways better than most people. It's true. Sometimes we need to make compromises for the sake of our own safety and for loved ones. But I ask you to be proud and join me in accepting yourself as is. To rephrase Benjamin Franklin, being a transgender person is no shame. Being ashamed to be a transgender person is. Please join me in being happy about who and what we are. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your Day of Transgender service. Good night.